It's Wicked Wednesday. What kind of wickedness do we have to show you today? Well, as you can see, we got a squirrel situation here in a basement drop ceiling. So this customer called. Props to the customer. They set up their own security camera. They were hearing noises in the basement drop ceiling. Not sure what it was. Set up their own security camera. Caught the squirrel on camera. Props to them. That's usually step number one, is figure out what it is. Anyhow, they weren't sure where the squirrel was getting in and how to get rid of it. They set a trap up in the drop ceiling. They were not successful in trapping the squirrel themselves. So that's why they called me. So let's get into it. So first thing I did was I jumped up on the roof, walked all around the roof, checked the chimney, checked the soffit areas, the roof line areas, like all the typical squirrel spots, because usually squirrels like to be, generally up higher. Every once in a while you might have ones that find ways in closer to the ground and stuff like that, but general rule of thumb is squirrels are usually up higher. So I looked at the roof, all the typical areas, and everything was looking pretty good. So I was starting to scratch my head a little bit as far as where this squirrel is coming in and out, right? And then I saw these two vent openings here on the side of the house, and I'm thinking this could be it, especially because it's in the basement and the squirrel's lower. It's not like they're hearing the squirrel in the attic, right? It's in the basement. So I go look at these openings here, and I look in them, and the left one, the bottom left one here, the customer told me it's not even being used. And I looked in, and it's kind of blocked off on the inside. Like, it's not like rock solid, like it should have a vent cover on the outside, but it was still like sort of blocked off. And if something was coming in and out of there, it would have moved that stuff out of the way. So that I ruled out the bottom left one. I checked the top right one there, and that was a dryer vent, if I remember correctly. But yeah, anyways, that went in the back of the dryer, and that's not where the squirrel was, right? It's in the basement. So I kind of checked that one off the list too. So once I checked those off the list, I was back to kind of scratching my head a little bit, trying to figure out where this sucker's getting in. And then I went back in the basement again, walking around, pacing around, trying to figure out what's going on. Walked into the basement bathroom here, flicked the light on, and with that light that came on, the fan came on as well. And that's when it hit me. Light bulb went off. Bathroom exhaust fan, right? And that light there, that's got to be going somewhere. So then I jump back outside, and I'm trying to find out where does this bathroom exhaust fan vent come out, right? So I'm looking around. It's not those two vents I already looked at, so I'm looking around. The customer explained to me here, like, as you can see, there's a deck here, and over top of the deck, below the deck, is this shed kind of thing. So the customer tells me the shed was there first. And at some point, when they had the deck added on, the contractor built the deck right over top of this shed, and it goes down to a pool or whatever. And so then I got to thinking, I need to try and take a closer look at that. So as you can see here, there's like just a little bit of a gap between the bottom of the joists of the deck and the top of this shed kind of thing that's attached to the house. So I start thinking, what if this vent is buried way back in there somewhere, underneath this deck, and I can't see it. And so I run in the basement, turn the fan on again, and I crawl up on the deck, and I start listening, like on the deck boards. I'm start listening, and finally I get to like one one area where, and I hear it, like I hear the fan right beneath the deck boards, and so then I know, like, all right, this is it. So I run down again, hop up on the ladder, and I line myself up in between the joists of where I was hearing that fan at, on the other side next to the house there, and I was on the opposite side this time, and I shine my flashlight way down between the joists there, and I see it. I can barely see the vent. It almost looks like there's like a couple pieces of insulation right outside that vent too. So then the wheels really start turning. I'm thinking this could be it here. This squirrel is climbing up, a post or whatever, and getting on top of this old shed thing, crawling over here, and smart enough to lift open the flap on this bathroom vent, crawl in there, and it must have ripped a hole in the vent duct there that comes from the fan, and it can come in and out of the hole there, and then it gains access to the basement and the drop ceiling and all that. So that was my working theory. Made sense in my head. See the little insulation sticking out there. So I mean, I had the clues, but rather than just like jump to a conclusion here, I wanted to prove it. So I set up some cameras to kind of monitor the deck here and see if I could catch Mr. or Mrs. Squirrel jumping up on the deck area here and getting in here. That way I could prove it. Well, look what we have here. Caught the squirrel on camera going in and out of this deck area, heading right towards that vent, just like I was thinking. But so yeah, my theory was correct, but now I have the evidence to prove it, and now I can come up with a solution to solve the problem. So this customer already tried setting a trap up on the drop ceiling. I could have done that. Definitely could have possibly caught the squirrel that way with made some modifications to my traps that the customer didn't try yet, but I wanted to do something that I felt would be a little more successful. So basically close off this entire gap where the squirrel is gaining access on the top of this shed kind of thing. Close that whole thing off except for one area where it's coming in and out. Stick a trap right there, do a positive trap set over the hole, and that way when the squirrel goes to come out, it only has one choice, and that's to go right into my trap. Here we go. So next morning I started to get notifications on my camera here, and you can see the little squirrel popping its head, you know, checking the trap out, and it, at this point, it knew, like, it's locked in there. It can't get out. The only way is to go through my one-way door trap here, and stuck a little bait there in the end of it as a little encouragement, because obviously the longer the squirrel's in there, it's going to start getting hungry. So yeah, eventually the squirrel gave in, went for the bait, came out the one-way door trap, and boom, we got it. So caught that squirrel and removed it, and the customer's pretty happy knowing that the squirrel's no longer going to be running around on his drop ceiling. And then I finished that last little area where the trap was, closed that off, and that way no more squirrels or birds can find their way up on top of that shed area there. So that's it. If you guys liked and enjoyed this video and you want to see more, if this is Facebook or Instagram, please like and follow the page. If this is YouTube, please like and subscribe and share the video. That's it. Have a nice week.